right, so the Sony is a very different beast. So it's very cardboardy, everything is very simplistic, very much like very cheaply built, in the sense that it does look good, don't get me wrong, it does look good, as you guys can see. However, they're going for a very recycled and environmentally friendly way. Okay, so as you can see, it can be damaged quite easily, as you can see up here. But having said that, it is what it is. They're going for a more environmentally friendly. Okay, so it opens up just by that. I really like it. It's very simplistic, not a lot. I do want to let you guys know I am biased towards Sony a little bit. I love their headphones, but at the same time I'm quite biased. I used to be really biased towards the Beats headphones. But I am still a little bit. Okay, so inside there's not much to see. That's basically it, and you get a bit of paperwork as well with it. That's all to see with the Sonys. There's absolutely not much in there at all. Okay, looking at the cases themselves, so you get a case. Both are very cloth feel. However, I have to say they're very different. This is more of a hard, this is soft straight away. That's the difference. It's a bit hard on these sides as well, so it's quite hard, and it's not soft at all with the Sonys. They're going for a very different look. They've got a bit of a origami feel to it, to be honest. So see these supposed to be like shapes here. It gives it a bit of a origami papery feel, which goes with that whole recycled thing as well. And the zip still not improved. Something I liked on the Studio 3 wirelesses, the zip was like nice, big and chunky, you know, very cheaply built. Nothing to see here. Okay, opening it up, opens up nice and easily. Okay, the Sonys, very nice inside, I have to say, especially this little protection over here from all the bumps if it gets hit on the floor going like that. So this is where all the speaker and all the everything is here. So it's very good to see that is where it's being protected, and it's nice and soft, luxurious. I like seeing this little magnet here for all your accessories. You still get a 3.5 to 3.5 mil audio jack, which is fantastic to see, and you also get the USB to USB-C charging cable for the Sonys, which is fantastic to see. I really like seeing these things. Let's look at the Beats now for the case. So the case is fantastic. It's nice, it's soft, it feels good, but I don't know how much protection it'll be offering. Okay, the zipper is quite different. Okay, as you can see, it's fabric and a bit of plastic as well, and opening it up is very easy. As you can see, doing it very easily. Looking inside, you can see that you've got the headphones straight away, and that's basically no frills, and it's got you've got the USB-C to USB-C, which is fantastic to see. I like to see that. I don't see the USB. I like to see USB-A to USB-C. And it's also got a 3.5 to 3.5 audio jack, no longer with the remote, which is disappointing to see. I loved the remote, and the main reason for that remote is I can just connect it to my computer and use it as a chat for PUBG or Warzone or whatnot, or Fortnite or whatever, you know, and it works really well. So that's disappointing to see. Looking at the headphones side by side, you can immediately see that the Sonys have a bigger footprint. Now there's a bit here so the Sonys used to be able to go, you could bend them and you can twist them. You can't do that anymore. You can only twist them, you can't bend them. With the Beats, on the other hand, you can't twist them, you can only bend them. Okay, looking at both of them immediately to the eye, the Sony is a more luxurious headphone from what it looks like. It's got the nice padded fake leather, so vegan leather, or what they like to call it, but I like to call it fake leather because it's not real. Still got that red in the side for the R, and it's got that fake leather going around here all the way everywhere. Okay, so it's not just sitting here and the back side is plastic. It's going all the way, so that's fantastic to see. It's got plastic bits here, and it's quite light as well. It's actually, I think, 10 or 12 grams lighter than the old one that went out, the Mark IVs. So this is it. So it just goes like that, and you've got the mics here, okay, and on this side you get the power button, you got the noise cancellation button, and you've got the audio jack. On this side you just get the USB-C charging, and that's basically it for the Sonys. Looking at the Beats, we have a very different Beats from what we are used to, but familiar. So the design, the shape and everything is the same. So you still got the power button. You now get a USB-C charger instead of the micro USB. You get the mics in the same sort of locations. You get a audio jack as well. You get that clicky, cheap feeling buttons as well. You still get this bit here, which I'm not a fan of, especially if you're going out in them and you're running around. The wind does hit this place and does get stuck in there, so not a big fan of that place. And other than that, the cups have changed now, so the cups are no longer the same. They used to be very flat and they used to be a bit thicker as well, which made very good passive noise cancellation, which was very good for that. It no longer has that. It has smaller cups, but it's no longer got the circular cups, so the cups are a bit ovalish. It's not oval enough like these guys there, but it is still a bit ovalish, and that's good to see. However, you will find if you've got head that is medium or large, or ears that are medium or large, this won't be that comfortable. These are comfortable in regards to having smaller ears. That's basically it. Anything bigger than those, not that good either. Now, what I don't like about this is no longer that flamboyant headphones that you're used to with Beats. They no longer have that logo. They no longer have the different colors, shiny bit metals here and shiny logo here. So it's no longer got that. All of it has been color matched, and it's a bit more subtle and it's a bit more neutered. Okay, I feel that it's losing that character that Beats have been known for. So that's the Beats on this end. Between them, I do feel that the Sonys are luxurious, especially with the bigger cups. So the Sonys have actually increased the cup size on these. So they're very comfortable for people even with large head size and large ears. They're quite comfortable, especially compared to the Beats. This is not a review of the Sony or the Beats. This is a comparison. So I can't, if you have big ears and you are like, no, the Sonys aren't that comfortable, I am comparing it just to the Beats. It's more comfortable than the Beats. Now let's talk about comfort. I would have to definitely give the comfort to Sonys. The Beats have that clampy feel to it still, which they're known for. That's fantastic to see. So if you're a gym person who does a lot of gymming and all this sort of things where they just want those headphones to stay put, these are your guys. But I have found them to be very uncomfortable, about 40 minutes to 45 minutes, maximum an hour. And the cups, they don't really allow you to have that much breathability. I feel that like the Sony gave me a bit more breathing space. However, letting you guys know, if you've got over the ears headphones, they're not meant for working out in. They will get sweaty and hot on a hot day. But having said that, between them, the comfort, the hotness, the size and everything like that, it'll have to go to the Sonys. Talking about noise cancellation, because they do such a good job with the passive sealing of the ear, they also do a very good job with the noise cancellation as well. The noise cancellation on the Mark IVs were already phenomenal. They have taken that and improved the tiny bits of problems that people had with the Sonys. They've improved on that. The Beats, however, lost that flamboyant character it had at the expense, I would like to have said, at the expense of gaining really good noise cancellation. It's not the case. The noise cancellation is just about the same. It's not that bad anymore. It still has the hiss that the Beats are known for. It still suffers from that. I feel like they have, on purpose, Apple had an opportunity to really introduce a Beat Studio Pro, a really proper Pro that had all the bells and whistles. I mean, the Studio 3 wireless, for God's sakes, it had a H1 chip in there. This doesn't have any of those W1 or H1 chips in there anymore. It does now pair with a bit better with Androids, with the app being available for Androids, but when it comes to iPhones, there's hardly anything. So it's the noise cancellation, it would hands down go to the Sonys. They're a lot better. When it comes to mic, I found both of them were quite good. The Beats used to really be bad for phone calls. They were just horrible, horrendous to deal with. They've improved on that. And the Mark IVs were similar-ish, although I didn't have much problems with the Mark IVs due to the firmware upgrades. A lot of people did have an issue with it because they were first-time reviewers. I don't do that. I use these headphones myself for 3-4 months before I get these videos out to you guys. That's why they take so long. Definitely the Mark IVs for me didn't have that problem with the mic, but the Mark Vs from the get-go did not have any problems with the mic. It's fantastic. It does work really good. What I would like to add, which is not a criticism of the Sony, you can take it as criticism if you want. At the absolute high end, it lets you, by the way, choose how much noise cancellation you want. But at the full capacity of the noise cancellation, your music will get muffled a tiny bit, okay? So that's just good to know. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty. Let's look at the apps. Now, looking at the apps, this is what you get with the Beats. So for the Beats, you can choose if you can have the transparency mode, what the buttons do, how you can end a call, spatial audio, and that's it, firmware upgrade. And that is it. It doesn't offer you anything else, which is quite limiting and quite poor if you ask me. As a YouTuber, I like to see as much power to the user as possible. So Apple is known for doing this sort of thing. They really handicap headphones in terms of the app. Now on the other scale, so this is the worst. So this is the absolute worst a company can treat you when it comes to providing an app. So Beats, unfortunately, being taken over by Apple, suffers from that. On the other spectrum is the complete control of what you're getting is with the Sonys. So the Sonys, you get adaptive sound, which you can turn on, and it, based on your location, it actually turns the ambience in, off, on, and things like that. The noise cancellation reduces it, increases it, or you can actually tell it. So if I'm at this location, I want this setting to be implemented. If I'm at this location, I want this. So not only does it do automatic, it also gives you the power to do that. When I use my headphones, you might see, why do you have it off? Such a good feature. I have it off because when I put on noise cancellation headphones, I don't want to be disturbed. I'm not one of those silly guys who have it on in the road and just don't pay attention to the road. I use it for a lot of work, so I do have it on. So when I want it on, I need it to the maximum. Now this obviously lets you firmware update it as well. So the next tab you get is for sound. So you can change your ambience, okay? So ambient sound, voice pass through lets you have voices while suppressing noise, okay, which is fantastic to see, or your noise cancellation being completely on. Another feature that it has is speak to chat. Speak to chat automatically detects with high sensitivity or low sensitivity as well, options being there. So what it does is, as soon as you say hi or start talking to someone, it detects that, and it just works so flawlessly, guys. I just can't praise it enough. It just works. It's not one of those gimmicky things that some of the providers might tell you, and it just doesn't work, but it works every single time. It also auto pauses all your music as well when you take them off. The Beats don't. Now, another thing that it has, once you stop talking, you can have different amounts of time where after it just kicks back in and starts playing your music. You can also use cupping mode, where you would cup one of the headphones and it'll just let in sound from the outside, in case if you're not talking and you just want to listen to someone's talking. So Equalizer is the absolute must. It got 5 positions to play with. Okay, so you've got bright, you've got excited, mellow, you've got relaxed, you've got vocal, which is what I like to keep it at. It gives it a very clear vocal treble boost, bass boost, speech. Okay, speech is another one, manual, and custom. You can have custom modes as well, and you can go in there and play with it yourself as well, clear bass as well. Now this is fantastic. I can't recommend this enough. The Equalizer really lets you play with this. Beats don't have that, so that's just the polar opposite. I can't recommend a product that doesn't trust the user to do what they want to do, and instead tells you what to do. So now you can also find an equalizer. When you start it, it goes through plays these sounds and tells you which one you like, and based on those it lets you decide this is the equalizer that you have. Also has ear analyzation, where it analyzes your ears and optimizes apps such as 3D reality, 360 reality audio, and it really lets the earphones work with your ears. Okay, so this is something I really like it. I don't find it gimmicky. This is how I found out one of my ear canals was a tiny bit bigger than the other one, so I had to use different sized cushioning on there. Okay, so this is fantastic to see with this audio quality as well. So you can have sound quality being prioritized, or you can have stable connection. Okay, so it really lets you have control of that. This is another thing, DSEE Extreme. This is a Sony thing. It's fantastic, and you can have the spatial audio optimization as well, which I haven't done, but that's something you can do. Next you have system, so you can connect to 2 devices simultaneously, which is fantastic. When you're connected to, let's say, your Mac, and you're connected to your phone, you can actually play between them really easily without headaches. So it just lets you do that without any problems. So if you're playing a song on your phone and then you start working on your Mac, it'll just connect directly through it. That's fantastic to see. 2 simultaneous devices, which again the Beats doesn't. So you can have voice assistant with Alexa app, or you can have Siri instead. You can have the touch sensitive control panel where you can swipe and things like that, but if you don't want to use that, you can turn it off, which is fantastic to see. So this is the noise cancellation. So what would the button do? So turn noise cancellation off, on. I would have liked, the only criticism I have here for Sony is I would like to have had this button used for something else. So if I have speak to chat turned on, I don't really need ambience control. It's great that they're giving you that button, but I would have liked to use it for something else and have the option, since they're doing it so good here. So this is another thing where it has the noise cancellation button, what it does. So 2 times, none, this, that, and you can actually have it. So this is where you can actually customize the noise cancellation button. So press the noise cancellation button twice, lets you have a Spotify tap, and the other one is none, Andel. So I don't turn that on. Automatically power off. So this is the feature that I was saying, that when you turn off take off the headphones, and if you don't, it pauses your music. But if you forgot to turn it off, you don't come back to a dead headphone. They actually turn off by themselves. Pausing when you're removed, voice guidance, software, automatically update, and initialization. Now these are the services it has. And this is quite new. They didn't have this. So it's got all these other services that you can have with it and link a service. And this is where you can see all of this stuff. So this is fantastic. See how I had nothing to show you guys on the Beats, and on the Sonys I had to go on for 10 minutes just how to use that app and how much customizability it gives you. Now let's get down to the last absolute bit, which is sound. Now sound, they have tried to improve this a bit, I have to say. However, it's still quite bass heavy. If you're into that, it has that, but it no longer sounds as loud. A lot of people liked the Beats for it being loud, you know. It doesn't have that anymore. It's not loud. They've lost that character. So I'm talking about this character a lot. So the unboxing, the case is no longer hard case. The flamboyance is gone. That loud sound signature is gone. So the sound is not, again, they've changed it, but they haven't improved it. Okay, I'm not saying like they've changed it and it sounds so much better now, but it doesn't have an equalizer, so you can't even play around with it. On the other hand, the Sonys used to be very bass-centric headphones. These are still a tiny bit bass-centric. If you look at that curve, so it's not an actual curve, it's more of a like that. But if you look at that ideal neutral sound, so neutral is not like neutral like a straight line going through, but the neutral sound is a bit like that. But if you look at that neutral sound, the Sonys are a lot more closer with the Mark V's to that neutral than they were with the Mark IVs. So that's fantastic to see. It will sound a lot better to your ears without playing, but you've got the equalizer, you can really play around with it. It just sounds a lot crisper, clearer, better than the Beats. The Beats, still for my flavor, they sound muddied because of that bass-centricism, and it's no longer loud. The instruments are going into each other. They don't sound, because of the bass-centric profile and not being loud enough, they do muffle everything else out. The highs aren't as clear. This guy, on the other hand, is pristine. It is what you pay for, and I really love the Sonys for that. I really like them. Now, the last thing I would like to talk to you about is the price. This is $530. This is about $500 in Australia. $530, $500 doesn't make sense. Just based on that, you should get the Sonys. It costs you $30 more, and it's not as good at all. Sony has been doing sound for so long. It's a company that is known for sound. Beats has only been around for 10-15 years now, and they got taken over by Apple, and Apple isn't doing them a great service by really doing the absolute best they can for these headphones. They're improving a few things, but they're not really, they don't want this to cannibalize the AirPods Max sales. So they don't want it to be better than the AirPod Max or even be closer to the Max. So it's really being handicapped. It's not being improved in that sense. And also, what I would like to let you guys know, I paid for $460 for these. So I got them on a sale, and for these guys I paid $333. So massive difference. The Sonys have been out for a bit longer, so they have more firmware upgrades that are better. And that is my verdict. So I lean towards the Sonys a lot more. The Sonys are a better brand when it comes to sound, noise cancellation, comfort, and everything. Hands down, the Sonys win this, especially given that the Beats have lost a lot of their character, what they were known for. I appreciate it might sound quite biased to some of you out there. This is a channel that I run. You are here for my opinion, and it is honest and straight, and this is what I found between them. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you find them. Let's talk about what else would you like me to compare these against. But this is what I found. Let me know if it helped you out. And do remember, my channel runs on me. I support everything. So if you like to see more content, please do subscribe. That's the very least you can do. Like and watch more videos. And if you can, super thanks really helps out. I mean, I've spent between these headphones. I've spent nearly $800, or well over $800, nearly $1,000. So that's a lot of money I'm paying out of my pocket just to be able to get these to you. So if you appreciate that, all you have to do is subscribe, super thanks, and all this stuff. Thank you for watching to the end. I really appreciate it. Take good care. Bye bye.